By Bethany. By Bethany.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Ayana of Ayana in the chat. We are freeing Bethany. Freeing Larry and saying bye Bethany today. And this is her cousin Charlotte that we have on the screen. And she's encouraging Bethany to divorce Larry.
Free Larry.
Go ahead and smash that like button as you come in. We about to let the shenanigans begin.
Free Larry. Free Larry.
Free Larry. Free Larry. Free Larry. Hey, Kanisha, Deborah, Miss T, Debbie, Deborah Edwards. We got all y'all in here. Deborah Ying, Moonlight Cookie, Miss T, Sherry Flanagan. Let's see, y'all. What's going on? Carol Smith. Good afternoon, Judith Joseph. Did I miss a skit with a split? Which one did I miss? Miss T, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How y'all?
Free Larry. Free Larry. By Bethany.
Oh, she definitely been under the knife. Hey, Black Widow. Danica, what's going on? Carol Smith. Carol Oldham, I think, is in here too. Chris Sims. Free Larry. Bye, Bethany. Hey, Maggie, Minister Yolanda, Judy Thames. Y'all come on in, smash that like button.
Free Larry.
Hey, Eric Kelly, J-Dub.
By Bethany.
What up, though? Hey, Lady D. Melissa, what's up? Donna Clark, hello. Thank you, Chris Sims. If y'all just knew how I was trying to hold it together. Hey, LaShawn. I needed my front porch crew today. I had to get on here. I need a little energy from y'all. I'm gonna talk about that, LaShawn. I'm not gonna hide it. I'm gonna talk about it. Just a little bit, because I don't want to go too deep in it. But this may help someone, so I'm going to talk about it just a little bit. Not long. Thank you. I'm trying to look pretty. Trying hard. What's going on, y'all? We freeing Larry today. Hey, Sandra Smith. Oh, no, Lady D, I'm sorry you on lockdown. I hope you get to feeling better soon. Girl. Hey, Ann Lockett. How you doing? Thank you, LaShawn. I appreciate it. I appreciate you so much. Definitely prayers up, Dina. Definitely. Thank you, Melissa Vaughn. Well, this is my intro music right here. This is just our Free Larry thing. So, DJ Wilma created this. And also a remix. We got a remix over here. I saw it during the skit when she was like getting up in Deborah's face. And I was like, oh my God, I know who she looks like. Thank you for the gold coin. Thank you, LaShawn. Appreciate you so much. Look at here. Pastor Clark, hey. Michael Boston, hey. Chris Sims, I hope I said hey. Tell Beverly I said hey. You like it when it says Free Larry? Y'all want to play it again? I'll play it again for y'all. I feel like my speaker might need to be charged up though. But I'm going to play it again. Here we go.
Free Larry. Free Larry. By Bethany. By Bethany. By Bethany. By Bethany. By Bethany.
Oh well, I did too, but I saw Madam in this one skit. I was like, she looks like Madam. We're gonna go back to one of
Free
those
Larry.
skits. Y'all, I haven't forgotten about
By
Brooke. I'm gonna
Bethany.
talk about Brooke too, maybe later
By Bethany.
if I have the energy. All right, now I'm just setting up for what we getting ready to talk about. The topic of the day.
Free Larry. Free Larry. Free Larry. Free Larry. Free Larry.
So I'm getting ready to set us up for that. It's something that came in, and I've been wanting to do it, but I was waiting for the perfect time. And yesterday's skit was conversation between her and Larry was the perfect time between Shar and Larry. So I think somebody asked a question on here. Let me see.
Free Larry. Free Larry. Free Larry. By Bethany. By
If I
Bethany.
missed your question, I apologize for your statement. You may have to repost it because some of y'all got in here early, so now a lot of them are hidden. Okay, so I'm gonna take Madam off. Well, I'm gonna take Charlotte off, and I'm gonna add this skit right here, and then we're gonna go into our discussion. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all's comments. Okay, Miss Yolanda. Um, what up, y'all? Okay, so before we get into it, let me just address something. Y'all know that I kind of been in and out. Yes, Robert, he is dressed to impress. He go to that lawyer like he about his business. I can't take it from him. But I'm going to address something. I didn't think I was going to address it the way that I have. Um, Girl, I don't know why he ain't used it. Maybe it's gonna come into play at some point. I don't know, Michael Boston. I really couldn't tell you. I don't know. It's an Uncle Alert. Thank you so much for the jewels. Thank you, Sandra Smith. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. I didn't want to come on here looking raggedy. Been unfortunate to come on here looking busted. Okay, so here is the thing. I'm gonna take your jewels off, Jim and I love, because I don't want people to think I'm like saying this stuff to campaign for jewels or anything else. So, y'all know about a month ago I went and had a mammogram. It's very important, ladies, that we go get our mammogram. Even if you are afraid, still go get it because the thing that may come up may be worse. And I had a Sarah tell me this. Shout out to Benzie. Years ago, when I was doing some content for our Zeta website for our local chapter at the time, and I was interviewing her for an article, she was like, um, "Who wants the money to keep coming?" I'm taking it out because I don't want. I don't want to like look like that's what I'm trying to do. Like I'm really trying to tell a story. I don't know if that's what you meant, Deborah. You might have been talking about Shar. But I had a mammogram, and that mammogram um came back abnormal. So then there was a follow up, which I can deal with abnormal mammogram. That didn't freak me out. But then there was a follow up, and that follow up, it was a diagnostic mammogram and an ultrasound, and the radiologist confirmed what was found and sent that over to my doctor. And so now I've had to have a biopsy. So that's where I was yesterday. I was having a biopsy. And you may notice I'm not moving or as animated as I was last night, or, well, not last night because I didn't do last night because I was wore out. Um, the other night during our live. I'm still in a little pain. They did the aspiration, and I was like, oh, it's just a little needle, ain't gonna be no big deal. When that lighter came well off, it's a big deal. And then also I have like these ice packs right here. I gotta go put them back in the freezer. But I have these ice packs that I'm putting on, and so I'm a little sore. And I won't have the results until next week. Sometime towards mid to late next week, I'll have the actual answer, and then I'll know where my journey is leading. So that is what is going on, y'all. So when I'm not on here, um, as of late, that is a significant part of what's been going on. And I think I told y'all about my sister-in-law's being ill and stuff like that. So it's just been a lot. So now I'm in this thing now where I'm trying to build my numbers back up, get YouTube to start back, like really pushing my content like it was before. And I could really use y'all to help me with that. There are gonna be more Imogene skits, so I'm not stopping any of that. Um, I'm doing some new stuff. And I'm not telling y'all this for a pity party. I just know y'all have kind of been like, oh, Yana said she got to go have this done. She got to have this. So now y'all know. The front porch crew, y'all been here. Y'all done held me down. Y'all have prayed for me. You know, y'all have been here. Many of y'all have been here since day one or week one or month one. However long you've been here. I appreciate everybody. So that is what is going on. Thank you, Lil TT. I appreciate it. And thank everybody for the prayer hearts, the prayer hands, and all that. So, if I tell you I need a little time, I just need a little time. But I'm gonna be okay. It's just trying to get this, you know, just trying to get this. And laughter is his medicine. That's what it say in the word. So I'm gonna keep as much as I can. Keep coming on here, laughing and cutting up, because I was cracking jokes while they was sticking these needles in my boob over here. So Eartha wanna cut up, Bertha acting right, but Eartha wanna cut up. So we gotta get Eartha in check. Eartha May and Bertha Lou. Hi, Apostle Clark. Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael Boston. I appreciate it. So, ladies, go get checked. And fellas, Richard Roundtree, he had breast cancer. He didn't die of that, but he did have male breast cancer. So, if you feel anything a little odd in that chest, you might want to get it checked out. Go ahead, Sheriff Flanagan. I'm going to be here for a minute. Thank you, Donna Clark. I appreciate it. So, that's what's going on. Now we done got all that out the way. Now that we done got all that out the way, let's get into the cutting up. Let's cut up. Okay? So, I'm going to let our little theme song play in the background. The Free Larry theme song. Here we go.
Free Larry. Bye, Bethany.
I'm feeling good, Dondra. I'm good.
Bye, Bethany. Bye, Bethany.
Yeah, that's what they told me. I got these little metal things in there. You got the metal things? Okay. Y'all smash that like button. We finna talk about some stuff. Okay? Thank you so much, Chris Sims. Thank you so much. Karen, everybody, thank y'all so much for the support. I appreciate it. I need y'all to help me laugh and all that. Continue to cut up. I just can't slang like I want to because this is still over here. It's still a little. I gotta be careful. Thank you, Twanya. I appreciate it, girl. Okay. So, I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Let it run in the background. So, what I wanted to come on here and talk about is explore the Larry and Bethany divorce possibilities. Because I was like, well, how could their divorce go? Because we already looked at, like, just kind of like, what are the things, like the mental health aspect of them, right? Using Gemini. So I decided to use Gemini to play judge, play attorney, strategize, and all that fun stuff. And I want to bring it to you, but it's based on this skit. The timing of this skit. Hey, Pamela Goodwin. The timing of this skit could not have been more perfect. So let's get into it. Thank you. Definitely please hit that like button. Thank you, Melissa Yolanda. Definitely hit that like button, y'all. Please, please, please. What husband? Who was your husband, Dondra? That was on the chat the other day. What's his name? Thank you so much, Sandra Smith. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's get into it. We're gonna start. We're gonna play this skit, and there's a certain part that I want to get to introduce us into our topic for this live. Okay.
Plan on making this final one. Yeah.
Oh, Red Dog, tell him I
All
said
thinking
hello. Thanks for
waiting till I
joining
leave
the
her go to
chat.
school to make it easy on everybody.
Look over.
But see, I don't supposed to be a part of that
Okay,
while she's in
that
the
was
house.
one thing. He said, I'm trying to time this when Brooke goes off to college. And Shar says quickly, Brooke don't care. Because guess what? Brooke don't care. Did we get another skit, Robert? Did we get another skit? Okay, so before we get into this, let me check out this skit that just dropped. Thank you, Robert, for the code 10. Let me, y'all, we're gonna come back to this one. I think I'm gonna open another chat area and go to the skit. Hold on 1 second, everybody. Let's get this code 10 out the way. I can't even do thank you so much. I can't even do another Amber skit because all that stuff Amber did yesterday with Wayne, I do not trust Wayne. I do not trust Wayne. He's hollering friend to Amber. I do not trust it at all. I do not trust it, not one bit. So I'm gonna hide the comments for right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and knock this reaction out since I'm over here, and then I'll go back to the other one so we can get back to it. Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you, Dondra. I appreciate it. So we got Bethany blaming Shar and Lynette. Even though Larry already done told her it ain't about her body. He told her why he gets along with Shar and Lynette. And it's because Shar and Lynette. Come on, I play our song. It is because Shar and Lynette are easy to talk to.
Free Larry. Free Larry.
So we getting ready to start this skit.
Bye, Bethany.
And y'all know what we're gonna do.
Bye, Bethany.
Let me hide the comments. I don't know about that, Michael Boston. I see your point. I don't know. Hey, Keisha. All right.
Free Larry.
Free Larry. Free Larry.
Bye, Bethany. Bye, Bethany.
Okay, here we go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Ayana of Ayana Enters the Chat. We are entering the chat on Bethany, blaming Charlotte, blaming Shara and Lynette for the reason why she don't feel pretty, sexy, or whatever. Here we go. Like, subscribe, and share if you start watching.
Maybe the reason why our marriage is failing is because of Larry, and maybe the reason why I am getting the surgery is Larry. You know, it was originally.
He already done told her, don't get this surgery. Don't do it for me, because I'm against it anyway. Dweeb not understanding if he liked her when she was bigger, he may not like her when she gets smaller with this surgery. But okay, Bethany.
For me.
And he still is, it is, but he also doesn't make you feel good about yourself.
And sometimes I see a spark of good, but it's so few. But okay. But it's very every once in a while now, and it used to be all the time. I used to see that glimmer in his eye when we were talking. But
None of the stuff that she did, none of the stuff that she said, none of that made a difference. Everything is not. She ain't got no part in it. He don't have that glimmer no more.
I see how the cultural differences, what Deborah was asking about, I see it now. Because I see the way that all these women with these smaller bodies and everything, and I see the way that he looks at the mother and his children. I see the way he looks at Shara. I see with her thin body and her fashionable clothes, her makeup on point all the time. And Lynette, she's just beautiful. And I mean, granted, I don't like either one of them, but I have to.
She is so freaking jealous of these women. It is ridiculous. Free Larry, y'all, because this is ridiculous. This man done told her, and she's still trying to make it be about something else. That's her own insecurity. Bye, Bethany. Bye, Bethany. Bye, Bethany.
Give it to him, they're gorgeous. And it's like, so are you.
And you're not that much bigger than them. I mean, first of all, I don't think it's so much of a culture difference because they like a voluptuous woman. Like, they would never be interested in this. They like a woman with some curves.
To each his own with their taste.
So I don't think it's a cultural thing. I think it's a you thing, and he gets underneath your skin, and he makes you feel like crap about yourself.
And Charlotte is just talking out her butt right now because she don't know the dynamic. She ain't been there for none of the foolishness. She ain't seen none of the stuff. She going strictly off of what Bethany has told her and has not had not one conversation with Larry to see what the real deal is. Free Larry, y'all. Free Larry. Free Larry.
Well, maybe so. Maybe. To a degree, yeah. I think you're right. But no matter what, I want him to look at me like he used to. I want to see the looks that he.
Maybe if you stopped emasculating the man, calling his daughter a whore, tell that, Bethany. Tell all of that. But you ain't telling that part.
Yes, Lynette and Shar and maybe somebody else, like that lady from the lobby. I saw how he looked at her, with her boobs hanging out.
How about you do this?
Dress like that too.
Larry don't even know that lady in the lobby. So every woman that is smaller than Bethany, and the lady in the lobby wasn't that much smaller than Bethany. She just dressed better than Bethany. She's so busy focusing on other people, she can't focus on herself enough to help fix herself so she can fix her marriage.
Wanted to.
I know, and I love you. But how about you do this for yourself so that you love yourself?
Do that.
And what is meant to be will be.
Yup.
Larry's going to be whatever he's going to be. And even if you get super slim to what you think he likes, what if he still treats you like crap? Are you going to continue? That's not healthy. That is a very toxic relationship. It's not healthy for you.
Y'all think she's still gonna get this surgery? I'm wondering.
And you're never going to feel good about yourself. You can have 10 surgeries and you're not going to feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
You've got to focus on your heart and what you want. Because you have to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, nobody can love you.
I can't love myself the way that Larry looks at me.
Okay.
And I need that back.
That's where you need that's your downfall. Quit worrying about what he thinks.
Tell her what you did Valentine's Day. He tried to make you feel pretty in your funeral dress you had on. He was sharp. He complimented you. He said, look at you, and smiled and all that stuff, and you still couldn't get your stuff together.
Pay attention to yourself and love yourself again. Because when you love yourself, you walk differently, you have confidence, you automatically look better. It comes from within.
You will never
understand. I will understand. I had a big moment too. I had to lose weight too a few years ago. You don't know I was in Jersey.
You don't know
But I love myself to do it.
It's all about her. Nobody else knows how she feels. You just don't know. This woman is telling her, I was overweight when I was in Jersey. It took time for me to get myself. That's what she's trying to tell her, but she can't because she's in an island of herself. She's in this little silo. And oh, woe is me. I'm poor Bethany.
I didn't do it for anybody else. And I'm still working on it. I still have some pounds to lose. But you know what? I'm doing it for me. Because I don't care what the world thinks. Some people think I'm too thin. Some might think I need to get, that I'm too fat. It doesn't matter what they think. I do it for me. And that's what you have to learn to do. This is not about Larry. This is about you. When you love yourself more, he's going to love you more because he'll respect you more. You got to respect yourself.
Let's just go.
Come on, I love you. Come on. Come on.
How many pep talks does this woman need? How many pep talks? Larry's tried to pep talk her. Charlotte's here's trying to pep talk her, and her pep talking her. She actually driving the final nails in the coffin of this chick's marriage. Bye, Bethany. Just bye, girl. Cause how much longer? And how much more you gonna blame Shara and Lynette? Two women who off in their own world ain't thinking about you. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about down in the comments. While I'm in the comments talking about it, let's make sure we be about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Till the next skit. Peace and air grease. Peace and air grease. Okay, y'all, we back in the comments. Whew. She definitely, Michael Boston, is going to find out firsthand. She definitely is going to find out firsthand. She ain't telling her all the truth. She just... Thank you, Miss Yolanda. The cultural barrier is coming from Bethany because everything they try to share about black culture, she blows it off. Matter of fact... Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't know who said that. Hold on, let me see if I can catch you. Mary. Thank you so much. Mary, my maiden name was Thomas. That's it, Mouse Clark. It's like she wants to lose weight for Shara and Lynette, and she still ain't gonna be able to compete where she don't compare. Because they got something she don't. They got confidence, and they ain't sitting around piling over Larry. This woman, like, she can't even breathe without that man. Like... Really? Bye, Bethany. So, with that said, let's get back over here to what we were about to talk about, because it is very important. It is very important. So we're going to go back to the skit with Shara and Larry talking. So in this skit, Larry has gone over and to tell Shara, this was yesterday, he goes over to tell Shara, oh, your ex-husband's from New York? Okay. My great grandfather was I think he was in New Jersey. So I think my grandfather went up there to get him at one point because he got sick. I think that's how my daddy told me. It was either New Jersey or New York. I think it was New Jersey. Anyway, she does need a mental health issue specialist. What's up, Big Sean? She's not listening to what nobody's saying. Her own husband is telling her what he wants. And she still is going with her own mind. Okay, fine, whatever. You win some, you lose some. Get ready to lose, Bethany. So in this skit, Larry is telling Shara what's going to happen. And Shara's like, oh, she's going to take you for everything you got. Blah, blah, blah.
I was in, me and Bethany back and forth and the whole mess. So that's my plan. So.
Man, listen. She gonna eat you alive. Why her daddy's a lawyer too? A lot. See, look, she gonna take the house, the car. If you had a dog, she'd take that. She's gonna tell you a lot.
See, this is when I got pissed with Shara because as someone who's undergone a divorce, you just kind of like just sat back and just let it go. That's it, bye, Shara. Because like, I'm like, girl, get some education about yourself. It's almost like she was trying to scare him out of going through the divorce. And I'm not understanding the motivation for that. Maybe I'm reading it wrong, but that's what it seemed like to me. She was trying to scare him out of it.
Okay, understand this. So let me break it down to you how I planned this whole thing.
Okay.
The house was mine before Bethany came to the picture.
Keep that in.
She don't have no rights.
Keep that. That house was his before Bethany came in the picture. She has no rights to that house. Which is what Anthony is saying over on the other side, which is true. But there's a caveat to Larry's situation as opposed to Amber's situation.
The house, that's mine. And my daughter's. So she had, she has.
So that's his and his daughter's, which says to me that maybe Larry at some point may have put Brooke on that house. Maybe through a will, maybe through, what is it? Maybe he added Brooke to the deed at some point. But he said that house belongs to me and my daughter.
That's the house because we're not being invited together. That's one.
I agree,
Two,
Danica. She should be his biggest
she
supporter.
can't. It's law. And she can't
Her
break the
daddy's a
law.
lawyer. You know what lawyer means? Lawyer.
Now Larry got a lawyer. So why should Larry be more afraid of Bethany's father because he's a lawyer than Bethany's father should be afraid of his lawyer? Thank you. Thank you, Chris Sims. It's the Willie Lynch syndrome. Shar is scared of boss. I noticed that. I was gonna comment on that, but I don't want to talk about that in this one right here. At least not right now. It's something to think about, but I just went and did some digging.
And the thing is this, what you know what the VA means. The VA gave me a house for a disabled veteran. Ain't no judge gonna kick out a disabled veteran from his home to give it to another person.
Sure not.
And then once the judge finds out their assets, I might go for her money.
Now he probably not gonna get in there with that. I'm gonna prove it to y'all in just a minute. Cause I played around with Gemini.
Irreconcilable
But you the
differences.
one with the divorce.
Yeah.
So how you gonna go for her money?
Why? What do you mean? They were still married. It's not just one side of the other. Either side can go after the other one for some dough. Shar, you just didn't have none, and you were too green and too young. You didn't have sense enough to fight for your stuff. I don't think Papa Smurf gonna offer her no support, cause I think Bethany's dad has been wanting them to divorce till he realized that Bethany may have to come stay with him. He already knows that that's going to happen because he had a conversation with Larry some time ago asking, when Bethany had left the house, he asked Larry, are you all going to get a divorce? In other words, he was fishing for Bethany, trying to figure out if Larry was thinking about divorcing her. And the answer that Larry gave him was like, I'd rather discuss that with her and not you. That told him everything that he didn't know. The answer is yes. It was just a matter of when, and that's why Bethany kept trying to do the things that she was doing. Hey, Rhonda Rhodes. I don't understand. I don't, Vanetta, that's the part that's pissing me off in this skit. I noticed that, Big Sean. Cause I wouldn't begin if you made me go to jail. I ain't excuse almost cause I ain't messing with you. I think so. I think you may be on the money with that, J Dub. The attorney may tell him to stop. Yeah, but I think he don't realize he need to fall back after what he did to Lynette. I'm about to talk about that, Chris Sims. Give me a minute to get over there. I'm finna run this scenario down. Stop getting ahead of me. Okay. All right. So we've heard Larry say what is his and how his thing is set up, right? We also know from some of the previous skits how his thing is set up, right? Okay. So here we go. We are now going to explore the world of Gemini. Here we go. So, I ran down Larry's situation. And if y'all think I missed something, let me know, okay? So, I asked Gemini, if it were a judge in Georgia presiding over the divorce case, explore how they rule on a case of Larry and Bethany. Then I broke down Larry's situation. Larry is filing for divorce based on irreconcilable differences. He is a black man and retired veteran with an 18-year-old daughter preparing to leave for college. He's a designated disabled veteran. He married Bethany, a white female, 8 years ago. They share a marital home, which was purchased using his veteran's benefits a few years prior to the marriage. He receives both retirement income. Oh, let me see if I can get my little thing now. Come on now. Okay. He receives both retirement income, disability income through the military. Bethany is the eldest daughter, and earns income through a family business. Her family owns a number of corporate offices, buildings, and manages those buildings, earning money by leasing spaces. Larry also raises his 16-year-old niece from Chicago, Throughout the marriage, Larry has dealt with public humiliation, emasculation, and weaponizing of his PTSD by Bethany. Bethany has routinely threatened to have his niece arrested and calls Brooke whore, trashy, and additional names. This was years prior to Brooke turning 18. Larry and Bethany have no joint assets. Larry has a vehicle in his name. Bethany has two vehicles in her name, one of which is paid off. They have no minor biological children. Okay. So that's what I asked Gemini. I think it's time for Shar to cut. It's time for Larry to cut Shar off. Straight up, no chaser. It's time to cut Shar off. And I'm looking forward to Larry finding out about this dude. I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I wanted them together, but if this how they gonna play it, okay, we gonna roll with it. Okay. All right, here we go. As Superior Court judge in the state of Georgia presiding over this matter, my ruling will be strictly anchored in Georgia's statutory framework, which is OCGA Title 19, federal law governing military benefits, and the principles of equitable division of marriage, marital property. Yeah, she was 10 when they got married. Okay. Classification. I don't think she know it, J-Dub. She don't know that the lawyer's gonna make her cut him off. She don't know that. Shar has shown that she has no clue about how things could go. She don't have a clue. So I really don't think Shar knows. Classification and division of real property, the marital home. That's the biggest thing. Okay? Under Georgia law, Thomas v. Thomas and Payson v. Payson, property acquired by a spouse prior to the marriage is non-marital separate property. Okay? The separate property asset. Because Larry purchased the home using his VA benefits prior to marrying Bethany, the house itself is Larry's separate property. Bethany has no ownership claim to the home's underlying premarital equity. So Bethany has been saying this whole thing, my house too, my house too. Let me tell you something. I believe, and I've said this, I think they wanted Bethany to get with Larry because they wanted Larry to be a bodyguard. I'm also thinking they might have wanted Bethany to get with Larry because Larry has stability. That military money, the retirement income, the disability benefits, that offers a very stable and financially sound background for a marriage. That was like a basis. It has been my experience, and if you look at the athletes, most Caucasian females that I know and have seen, they marry for financial stability. Period. Okay? That's what I've seen, that's what I've witnessed, and that's what I've seen in my own family. Okay? So, pretty much Bethany has no ownership claim to the home's underlying premarital equity. The exception is this. Under the source funds doctrine, if marital income is used to pay down the mortgage during the 8-year marriage, or if joint funds efforts significantly increase the home's value, Bethany could claim an equitable portion of the appreciation paid down equity accrue only during the 8 years of marriage. In other words, if Bethany is the one that was paying the bills, meaning the money was coming out of her account, okay? Or if she put half into a joint account for the monthly mortgage, then Bethany could claim an appreciated amount of the equity. But she still cannot get his home. She would still not be able to get his loan because federal law and the veteran benefits, that is straight up Larry's. Bethany ain't serving no military. Yes, I did say that. Said it was set up for him and Brooke. Okay? Ruling. Larry retains 100% sole ownership and possession of the home. If Bethany proves the marital funds contributed to equity growth, I would award her, this is Gemini acting as a judge. If Bethany proves the marital funds contributed to the equity growth, I would award her a modest offset, but offset that amount against other factors detailed below. Bethany would be ordered to vacate the premises within 30 days. Okay, Golden Girl saying this is skit land law. You can say it's skit land law all you want to. I'm not focusing on skit land law. I'm focusing on this and applying Larry's scenario to likely real life events. Because this does happen in real life. And that's been a question on the front porch. I don't care about skit land law. I know skit land can come up whatever they want to come up with. Okay? So I'm not really focused. I get what you're saying about it, skit land law. I'm looking at if this were to happen in real life. Now we're using a skit land topic to talk about what could possibly happen in a real life scenario. And we thank you, Chris Sims. Skit land law better resemble the real law because we will hold Country Wayne skit land accountable. We do call out stuff that don't make sense. He sure was not, Shavonda. He was not using skit land law. Because I wanted to test, and I didn't put what he said in there. I just put what we knew about Larry and about how he had his stuff set up. Okay? Number 2, military income and disability benefits. All right? Federal law heavily restricts how state courts handle military pay, particularly disability. Okay, we got an update. Thank you, Lady D. Lady D says now, according to previous skits, they only share a joint account for household and food use. Larry's mortgage and utilities are paid from Larry's account. And that probably did not change after they got together. Period. Okay, so the VA disability compensation. Under the Uniformed Services Former Spouses Protection Act, aka the USFSPA, and the U.S. Supreme Court decision Howell versus Howell, VA disability pay is strictly federally protected and cannot be treated as marital property or divided in a divorce. Larry retains 100% of his disability income. Thank you, Minister Yolanda. And let me just add this. I am not an attorney. I am a content strategist. I am a researcher. So I know how to go and I know how to research, and I'm becoming more and more of an authority on AI strategy, AI content strategy as well. Well, Big Sean, he told her she was ready. He paid the money, and they were in a strategy session the other day. That's all I can tell you. She does keep saying that, but he said numerous times that he the one paying that mortgage. And she gonna have to, see, the thing is, they gonna look at all these financials, and Bethany's gonna have to show proof. She's gonna have to show proof. Military retirement pay. The portion of Larry's military pension earned during the 8-year marriage is technically, during the recent argument, he's been saying he's been paying a bit. Plus, Bethany ain't working right now. However, given the short duration of the marriage, 8 years, and Bethany's independent, substantial financial status. Now, Larry said that in that skit. He said they were not married long enough for her to be able to get access to his retirement pay. I think it has to be like 10 years. And Bethany's independent, substantial financial status, I would exercise judicial discretion to award Larry 100% of his military retirement pay. This is Gemini AI acting as a judge, assisting me with my research, okay? All right. They likely would award him that, okay? Division of property, personal property, and vehicles. Georgia is an equitable distribution state, fair. Not necessarily a 50-50 split. That's what we were saying over there on Amber's case. There are a lot of factors that's messing with Amber's case and Amber and Anthony's divorce case. Because Anthony is moved weird, so has Amber, being fair. Thank you, Eric Kelly. I knew our military people could be on here because they're going to educate y'all about y'all money. It needs to be 10 years. This is a military man saying what's up. Deborah, you are absolutely right. Larry's not a dummy. He most likely put that house in a trust for Brooke and Jaden. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. And now that he has a grandchild, he may have added Jaden's child. What's the name? Kenai. He may have added Kenai to that trust as well. Okay, division of personal properties and vehicles. Larry will keep the vehicle title solely in his name. Bethany will keep the two vehicles titled in her name, including the paid off vehicle. Joint assets. Because the parties maintained, because they don't have any joint assets as far as we know, because the parties maintain separate finances and accumulated no joint assets, each party will leave the marriage with the bank accounts, personal property, and assets currently in their respective names. In other words, the judge gonna try to keep this simple. The judge, he or she will try to keep this simple. Okay, let's go to alimony and spouse support. This is referencing OCGA 19-6-5. These are legit laws in the state of Georgia that are being referenced. Okay? Alimony and spousal support. Under OCGA 19-6-5, the court considers the following: the standard of living established during the marriage, the financial resources and earning capacity of each party, and the conduct of the parties toward each other, including emotional abuse and cruelty. That's going to come into play, Minister Yolanda. We're going to talk about that. That joint account is going to come into play later on in this discussion. Financial standings. Bethany works for a high-end, high-earning family commercial real estate business and has substantial independent income and earning potential. They're going to consider her earning potential. I want y'all to think about this. The father paid for this surgery. Okay? And I got to go look this up, and I'm not going to look it up now. There's something about a certain amount of money you can give as a gift before it has to be taxed. And I want to say $10,000 is that amount, but I'll have to look it up. If somebody else wants to look it up, feel free. Okay? Bethany works for a high-earning family commercial real estate business and has substantial independent earning potential. Larry lives on a fixed income. So his retirement money, his disability money, that equates to a fixed income. It don't matter about all these trips he able to take or whatever. That could just be the management. Carol Smith said it's $10,000. That could just be the no, she having the surgery. That could be just about he knows how to manage his money. Eric Kelly said 10K. Lady D said 10K. So thank y'all for my co-researchers in here checking things out for me. Okay? Conduct and cruelty. Georgia courts evaluate conduct when determining spousal support. The documented emotional abuse. This is where y'all come in at. So Chardon gave him them glasses where he could record Bethany if he wanted to. Okay? He supposedly has cameras in that house. Brooke and Destiny, if they have been recording anything that she has done. And Destiny also could be a witness. Brooke could also be a witness because Brooke, even though she's turned 18 and she's a legal adult, Brooke can actually testify to the things that have occurred. Not only that, he's got Tamara, he's got Pernell, he's got witnesses at Pernell's party, he's got Tamara's daughter, he's got even Bethany's own family. Duchess is in there too. He's got Bethany's own family. Although they may be hostile witnesses, I think one won't be hostile, and that will be Greg. And Greg alluded to some things that Brooke may have told him when she was younger. And Brooke also said she asked the family. She told Destiny this when Destiny said she should testify against them. Brooke mentioned that she had taught their family, and their family said Bethany's always been that way. Okay, Adina Collins says, as of 2026, IRS allows you to give $19,000 as a gift, non-tax. Thank you, Adina. I appreciate it. All right. The documented emotional abuse, verbal degradation of Larry's niece, and the intentional weaponization of Larry's military-related PTSD weigh heavily against Bethany. So her mouth will be her ruin. Thank you, Shavonda. So we got it's 19,000 in Georgia. Thank you so much. Ruling: zero alimony awarded to Bethany. Neither party will pay spouse support to the other. Child support goes on through college at the age of 21 or college complete, whichever happens first. But they will count Brooks' college experience and the percentage that they expect Larry to pay. They will count that in his financials. So that is something else that is going to hit Larry's income. We're going to talk about the 650 because it may come into play. I don't know, Apostle Clark. Maybe they have been recording the whole time. Maybe. Who knows? Also, you got the whole thing with Lynette down there. So we're going to talk about that too because that's going to come up in this. There you go. There go the other thing. It's a lot that's in there that can be pulled up. Child support and dependent custody. Biological children. The parties have no minor biological children together, so standard child support laws do not apply. 18-year-old daughter. Because she is 18 and leaving for college, she is legally an adult. No custody or child support orders apply to her. 16-year-old niece. Under Georgia law, step parents have no legal obligation to support non-adopted stepchildren or relatives raised by the spouse. Bethany has no legal custody rights or support obligations regarding Larry's niece. So in other words, she can't use Destiny. It's Shavonda. It seems like don't nobody use their stuff. Don't nobody use their cameras. All right. So here we go. The final judicial decree. This is based on just the general scenario of what we know. This is Gemini's theme from pulling from OCGA Georgia 19, sections 5-3, section 6-9, blah, 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 blah. Okay? And subsections of that law. Thank you, Robert. The military is going to protect Larry even with his retirement. Okay? Final judicial decree summary. Order of the court. Divorce granted on the ground of irretrievable broken. Okay? Real property. Full title, possession, and equity of the marital residence are awarded exclusively to Larry as separate premarital property. Bethany must vacate in 30 days. 30. A dirty 30. Military benefits. Larry retains 100% of his VA disability benefits protected by federal law and 100% of his military retirement income. And if Bethany's daddy, who loves to use his little reach and pull, right, reaches out to anybody in the VA, that financial area, whatever, to try to mess with this man's benefits, he will be screwed up. Okay? He need to stay out of it. And Charlotte needs to stay out of it. Chris Sims, they may try to, but under Georgia law, I don't think she can do that. I think they have it in North Carolina, but I don't believe they do that in Georgia. I have to look it up. Each party retains their own assets, the military benefits, retirement income, 100% stay with Larry. Hey, Tay Bonnie, I'm good. Attorney fees. Pursuant to OCGA 19-6-2, considering the vast disparity and Bethany's egregious conduct during the marriage, Bethany is ordered to pay a portion of Larry's reasonable attorney fees. In other words, Bethany could be forced to pay his attorney fees because he on limited income. Okay? Before we get to this next section, let's just play a little bit of our favorite new song. Yep, the feds will come after Papa Smurf. Most likely, or get her somewhere to stay. Now, let me say this. If Larry wants to be generous, Larry could say, okay, look, I don't want to leave her high and dry. I will at least pay blah, 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 so she can get herself established. So Larry may, in the negotiations of this, may say, you know what, I just want to be done with her. I will give her 15 grand just to go away and help her get her a place to stay. After that, she on her own because her family can handle that stuff. Now, in that case, A judge will look at that as favorable because Larry's not trying to be an evil person. He's trying to help her. But if she come back with some stuff, she could lose everything. Okay. I asked Gemini, in what circumstances could the ruling not be in Larry's favor? Here we go. We still freeing Bethany though. We still freeing Larry. Saying bye Bethany. Still saying bye bye Bethany. Bye 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 bye.
Free Larry. Bye Bethany.
Okay.
Bye Bethany.
Alright, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. Alright. In what circumstances could the ruling not be in Larry's favor? While the facts presented heavily favor Larry, a Georgia Superior Court ruling could shift significantly away from his favor under specific legal, financial, and evidentiary circumstances. No, they can't touch his military benefits, J-Dub. In Georgia Domestic Relations Law, OCGA Title 19, judges weigh strict rules regarding property classification, burden of proof, and financial tracing. The primary scenarios that could alter the outcome in Bethany's favor would include the following. Retitling the home, transmutation. The risk. If Larry added Bethany to the deed of the home at any point during their 8-year marriage. Example, during a mortgage refinancing, Georgia law presumes he intended to make a gift of the marital estate. Now, how is that significant? If Larry ain't never had to refinance and he never added Bethany, that's one thing. But we know Bethany likes to doctor cameras and stuff, right? And her daddy is an attorney. The question that may come up, and this is how skit land law comes into play, for whoever said, I can't remember, I think it was Gloria. If we get a scenario where we find, when they pull Larry's assets, that somebody somewhere or another finagled and had Bethany added to the deed. Now it becomes the burden of proof on Larry to be like, I never added her to a deed. This is what this should be. So if they played any games to try to cover Bethany in the event that Larry divorced her, that could be an issue. Okay? The impact of it all. Retitling transforms the home from separate property into 100% marital property. Instead of Larry retaining full ownership, the court would divide the entire value of the home equitably between both spouses, which I believe Larry could probably buy Bethany out if he wanted to. Okay, number 2. We're talking about situations where things may not go in Larry's favor. Okay. The risk under Thomas versus Thomas, even if the house remains solely in Larry's name, any increase in the home's equity paid for with marital income, meaning if they had a joint account specifically for the mortgage, and Bethany put money in that account and Larry put money in that account, well, Bethany is now contributing to the marital asset. Okay? So she could actually be due a portion of the market appreciation tied to home renovations funded during the marriage. It's considered a marital asset, meaning if she bought a stove, if she helped fix the roof. Yeah, Donna, I know that's going to factor in too, but Shar is not buying that home. It is a rental property, but I'm going to show you later on how that could come into play, okay? Because Bethany does know about that, okay? If the home appreciated significantly over the 8 years and marital earnings paid down the mortgage or paid for major remodels, Bethany would be legally entitled to a substantial cash payout for her share of that marital appreciation. He do be on them bills. Lack of admissible evidence regarding cruelty. The risk. In court, allegations of emotional abuse, public emasculation, and weaponization of Larry's PTSD must be proven with admissible evidence. Text messages, audio recordings, police reports, therapist testimony. Remember, Larry has been going to therapy for his PTSD. Or third-party witness statements. Larry's got plenty of third-party witnesses. If Larry relies solely on uncorroborated testimony and Bethany denies the behavior, the judge cannot penalize Bethany under OCGA 19.6-5, conduct of the parties. Without proof of cruelty, the court would treat the separation purely as standard no-fault divorce and divide any disputed marital assets strictly on financial metrics. But the hard part, to J Dub's point, the military gonna fight that. And if he got an attorney that's familiar with any kind of military law, and if she might have been in the military herself, and if she worth her coin, guess what? She gonna find a way around that if that were a thing. The division of the military pension, the risk, while federal law Howell versus Howell completely protects Larry's VA disability compensation, the portion of his military retirement pay accrued during the 8 years of marriage, solely during the 8 years of marriage, remains a marital asset under the Uniformed Services Former Spouses Protection Act. Impact. If Bethany's attorneys argue that retirement benefits earned during the marriage are routine marital property, a judge could award Bethany up to 50% of the pension portion earned specifically across those 8 years, regardless of her independent family wealth. He definitely needs to do that, and he needs to come with proof. You the four-party witness, Donna. Commingling separate funds. This is the fifth way it could kind of play against him. If Larry deposited his separate pension or premarital savings into a joint bank account used for everyday household experiences, those funds become commingled. Now, he may not have deposited his whole funds, so it's only going to be the portion that he may have deposited in there. Impact. Commingled funds often lose their status as separate property. If Bethany can show the separate money was used to support the joint household, the judge may treat those funds as marital assets subject for division. I don't know. I don't know why, Robert. Have no clue. Hey, Tasha. Yep, it's proof. She went viral calling little black girls nappy headed, and she was the stepmom with a little black girl in her house. So by extension, she kind of sort of called Brooke nappy headed too. The strongest variables. Thank you, Kimmy Kane. Thank you so much for the jewels, the sunshine. Appreciate it. No, Shara has no rights. Their divorce was their divorce. What she didn't get what she was supposed to get then, she ain't getting it. Plus, Larry left Brooke with her. She ended up with Brooke. Michael says, Ayana, we all know Larry doesn't tell the whole truth. How Bethany is not like Bethany. I don't know. I don't know whether he's gonna do that or not. All I know is Larry gonna have to provide them financials. Them financials gonna tell it all, at the very least. And if you pull in, if his family and Lynette and all them come in, and he got a whole witness, Lynette, Kaylee's mom and dad, the race baiting she did that day, all of that serves as proof. Okay, so we flipped it and it's okay, well, let's act as Larry's attorney. What type of strategy would you do based on the same scenario that the judges had? Here's what the Larry's attorney would do. Okay? As Larry's lead attorney, my litigation and negotiation strategy would be built on three core pillars: protecting his premarital real estate, shielding 100% of his military income, shielding 100% of his military income, and leveraging Bethany's conduct and vast financial disparity to neutralize any monetary demands she may make. Oh, Lynette absolutely gonna testify. Definitely. That's gonna come up here because I'm gonna ask this question. Here's the exact courtroom negotiation strategy I would execute under Georgia Domestic Relations Law OCGA Title 19. Property protection strategy: securing the home. The marital home is Larry's primary asset purchased prior to the marriage using VA benefits. Channel title verification. I will immediately file the premarital warranty deed and closing documents into evidence to establish that the home is 100% Larry's separate property. That's it. That way, it could preempt the source of funds claim. If Bethany claims she entitled to equity appreciation accrued during the 8-year marriage, Thomas v. Thomas, I will subpoena mortgage payment records. I will establish the mortgage payments were drawn from Larry's separate income or offset by his premarital contribution, minimizing and eliminating any cash payout owed to Bethany. There it is. Hey, DJ Wilma. Immediate exclusive use of possession motion. I will file a motion for temporary relief seeking exclusive use and possession of the home, forcing Bethany to vacate immediately to protect Larry and his niece from further toxic cohabitation. If Larry went to his therapist and talked about any of the PTSD and stress he's under relevant to Bethany and any of the things that Bethany did, that then goes on the record. If Larry signs that release, it could go on the record and help protect, and Bethany could be immediately forced out that house. Income protection strategy, safeguarding military benefits. The VA disability, the federal shield under federal law, Howell v. Howell. VA disability compensation is completely non-divisible. I will preemptively file a legal brief citing federal preemption to shut down any attempt by Bethany's counsel to touch his disability income. Just shut it down. While the portion of his pension earned during the 8-year marriage is technically subject to division, I will argue against the pension split by highlighting the short duration of the marriage, because 8 years is short to medium length. It don't meet that 10-year threshold. Economic disparity. Bethany has substantial independent earning capacity. Bethany been talking about, I paid this, I got money, I got this, I got that. Talking about her family money. And she said to Chase, she said to Cannon, she said it to Natasha, she said to all kind of black folks she don't like. Dividing a disabled veteran's fixed pension when the other spouse has access to substantial corporate leasing wealth would be unconscionable. He got Judy thinks he got so many witnesses. Conduct an evidentiary strategy, establishing abuse. In Georgia, even in a no-fault divorce, a party's conduct during the marriage is directly admissible under OCGA 19-6-5 when determining spousal support, equitable division, and attorney fees. Documenting psychological security. We will compile and authenticate text messages, voice messages, social media posts, and third-party witness affidavits, documenting Bethany's verbal abuse, public emasculation, and weaponization of his military PTSD. Protecting the family unit. We will present evidence showing Bethany's hostility towards Larry's 16-year-old niece, false police threats, verbal slurs to demonstrate a pattern of domestic abuse. We actually have a witness to Bethany threatening to call the police on Destiny, who at the time was only 15 years old. That's the day that Tamara went to the house and was trying to talk to Bethany. And Bethany stood 10 toes down, sitting there in that chair with her hand like this, saying, I will call the police. I will call the police. We have Brooke as a witness to Bethany threatening to call the police on Destiny because Destiny didn't want to eat that food. Hey, Angelique. Okay? Protecting the family unit. We will present evidence showing Bethany's hostility towards Larry's 16-year-old niece, false police threats, verbal slur. Okay, we got that part. Strategic goal, establishing the conduct accomplishes two things. It completely destroys any claim Bethany might try to make for spousal support, equitable offsets. It lays statutory groundwork on the OCGA 19-2 to force Bethany to pay Larry's legal fees. Financial disparity and fee shifting strategy. Financial discovery on the family business. I will serve comprehensive interrogatories and requests for production regarding Bethany's income, distributions, equity stakes, and compensation structure within her family's commercial real estate company. In other words, what does Bethany have now? Here's the problem. Dad Newberger has said Bethany don't get nothing. Right? It don't automatically just drop to her and Greg. If he happened to fall the face of the earth, it go right to Harvey. Okay? Because Harvey has 49%. And that 51% that Newberger has, that 51% would transfer back over to Harvey. Okay? Leveraging economic disparity, showing that Bethany enjoys a high standard of living supported by commercial real estate holdings while Larry lives on fixed military retirement and disability, removes any equitable argument that Bethany needs financial relief from Larry. In other words, she got family money. So they actually could um subpoena the corporate stuff and also Bethany's father's stuff. Right, Shavonna, there is no line of succession. Attorney fees motion on OCGA 19-2, Georgia courts award attorney fees to balance the financial positions of the parties, giving Bethany's access to corporate business wealth and her conduct during the marriage. I will petition the court to order Bethany to reimburse Larry for his full legal expenses. She's going to pay them legal fees. Bottom line, our posture is firm and non-defensive. We prove the home is separate, lock down his military income behind federal law, showcase her substantial commercial real estate earning power, and use documented misconduct to ensure Larry walks away with his home, his benefits, and his dignity intact. Don't let him mess around and get no black judge. Don't mess around and let her get no black judge. So then I said, okay, well, let's act like we Bethany, because you got to show the opposing point of view, y'all. Got to be fair. Same scenario, but now it's Bethany's attorney. How is she going to defend this? As Bethany's lead defense counsel, my objective is to systematically dismantle the narrative presented by Larry's team, neutralize allegations of misconduct, and extract maximum value from the 8-year marriage under Georgia's equitable division framework. So even though all this stuff is true, her attorney may still try to go after his equity. Okay? I don't know. I think see, here's the thing. Technically, Bethany has been working. And depending on how Daddy Newberger plays it, Daddy Newberger may claim, they may be able to make the argument that Bethany had been going there consulting with, what's her name? With Charlotte. And that $10,000 he gave her was for that surgery, could be money owed to Bethany. You got to add in what's his name's court case, Greg's court case. That's going to come into play at some point too. She's supposed to get served between August 10th and August 15th. So we got about, 3 weeks maybe? Okay, here's strategic blueprint for defending Bethany and advancing her claims. Pursuing the marital equity growth in the home. While Larry purchased the home prior to the marriage, Bethany is legally entitled to her share of the marital appreciation under Georgia's source of. I'm gonna get to that $650, y'all. Be patient with me. So she could be entitled to the appreciation of the equity, depending on whether it grew, whether the equity in the house grew. An 8-year marriage spans a period of significant property value in Georgia. Any reduction in principal on the mortgage paid during those 8 years and any market appreciation was fueled by marital earnings. I will file for a full real estate appraisal and financial audit to calculate the total equity growth since the wedding day. Proving home improvements and sweat equity. I will present receipts, bank statements, and testimony showing Bethany's direct financial contributions and domestic labor towards maintaining, upgrading, and decorating the home, arguing these actions directly increase its value. You got so many people that will testify for Larry. Counter argument. The house may be his premarital asset, but the appreciation during the 8-year marriage is a marital asset. Bethany will not vacate without receiving a significant lump sum equity buyout. But the counter for this is this counter argument that she would be making. The counter for that would be when he got that TPO to protect Destiny. You're right, Michael Boston. That's possible. But Bethany going there showing out so bad, they might, even if it was a white judge, they would probably get Bethany just because she's going to show out so bad. Military Pension Division claiming marital share. Under the Uniform Services Foreign Protections Act, the portion of a military pension earned during the marriage is marital property subject to equitable division. That's going to be their argument. Targeting the pension, while federal law shields his VA disability income, his military retirement pay accrued over the 8 years of marriage is fair game. The argument, Bethany gave 8 years of her life to this marriage, providing domestic stability that allowed Larry to enjoy his retirement. Under Georgia law, marital contributions are equal regardless of who earned the paycheck. She's legally entitled to her fractional share, 50%. Again, though, she may not be able to get that, because of how she acted towards some kids. And because she's been messing with him based on his disability, which is PTSD. I think what's gonna happen is that money, that $10,000 that he paid, may come into play. Why did he pay? Why did he agree to pay that? And also the fact that he circumvented the husband, because the husband said, "I don't want her to get this surgery." Defense against misconduct and abuse allegation. To protect Bethany from bad faith conduct penalties or fee shifting under OCGA 19.6-5, we must minimize and counter the emotional abuse claims. Evidentiary challenge. So they'll file a challenge. Hearsay and lack of proof. They need proof. So they need to get them text messages. They need to get audio messages. They got to authenticate text. They need to show any type of documentation with the allegations of weaponizing the PTSD. If Larry has been going to the VA and seeing a therapist, we already know he left the home because of the stress around Thanksgiving. Right, the $15,000 he gave Bethany for Natasha. See, Natasha can be pulled back in at that point to talk about it. Reframing the household. Regarding the 16-year-old niece, I'll reframe the dynamic. Bethany was in an adult step figure trying to maintain structure, discipline, and boundaries in her own home with a teenager who was not her biological child. Arguments over house rules and threat of police intervention will be framed as heightened family stress, not malicious abuse. But Brooke just turned 18. The stuff that Brooke dealt with when she was not 18, when she was still a minor, could come into play. Also pull in what happened with Isaiah. Isaiah just turned 18. Bethany was talking to that boy about sex and in his face about that boy about sex not even 2 weeks ago, I don't think. And Bethany never saw a psychologist or a psychiatrist. What do you want me to ask Gemini, Deborah? I got to get through this. Email me so I won't lose it, because I can't. I'm gonna have a hard time going back and forth through these. Okay. No fault standing. Georgia is a no fault divorce state. Both parties agreed the marriage is irretrievably broken. Attempting to turn a standard property settlement into a smear campaign is an unnecessary waste of judicial resources. Here's the problem though. If Bethany claims that Larry cheated on her, which she's going to try to say he cheated on her with both Lynette and Shar, that's when Puerto Rico will come back into play. Because Bethany can say, I don't know where they were. The judge can order them to tell where they were, to show receipts that they were in Miami. The receipts are going to show that they were in Puerto Rico. And Bethany had no clue. Insulating family business wealth. Larry's team will attempt to treat Bethany's family commercial real estate empire as a piggy bank, deny her claims, and demand attorney fees. Corporate entity shield. I will establish that the commercial office building and leasing revenues belong to a separate corporate entities or her parents, not to Bethany personally. That will likely work into her favor because the dad has said there is no order of succession. Okay, I'll look into the trust, Deborah. I'll ask it as soon as we get done with this. Preempting free shifting. I will demonstrate that Larry enjoys guaranteed inflation-protected federal military income for life, giving him exceptional financial stability compared to a salaried employee in a family business. Therefore, free shifting against Bethany is unjustified. So this is the defensive strategy broken out. Bottom line, we acknowledge the marriage is over, but we reject Larry. And that's if she doesn't. This is if she agrees to divorce and does not. I forget the word. It's right there, but I can't say it right now because I got too much other stuff in my head. Larry could say it was a gift from his brother for his niece's birthday, because Purnell did pay for the trip. Okay, then I asked, how could the following aspects come to play to work for or against Larry? Larry helps pay his ex-wife's rent. Here comes the $650, y'all. Brooke and the ex's niece stay with their ex part-time. Larry co-signed on the ex-wife's rent. Larry oldest son's mom, not the ex-wife, had a physical altercation with Bethany and beat her up after being baited by Bethany. Bethany's dad pressed charges against his son's mom. Larry bailed her out. How could this come into play? Oh, she gonna contest the divorce. Thank you, Chris Sims, for giving me my word. Angelique, them wanting to access her father's information alone might have her father not wanting to get involved in itself. I don't think anything he doesn't is on the up and up. That's it, Angelique. And think about the skit where Charlotte went to him saying that she didn't want Larry in the family. But he said he was going to stay out of it because he had inserted himself enough. He is not a marriage counselor. This is something that Bethany's going to have to deal with. That's what he said. That's what he said to Charlotte. Them wanting access to her father's information alone might have her father not wanting to get involved. I agree, Angelique. He already said he don't want to be involved because he know Larry finna divorce her. Ayana, to me, it doesn't matter if Larry went to Miami or Puerto Rico. How can she prove Larry was unfaithful? The implication. Why are you hiding it? What was there to hide? Pastor Clark says, so do you guys think that Larry is going to stay in the house with Bethany once she gets served? How is this going to work? I think the attorney going to try to have her put out. If Larry tells the whole truth and nothing but the truth and tells about what he did to, what she did to Destiny and some of the other stuff she's done, and talks about his PTSD and how that comes into play and how she triggers it, I think she gonna have Bethany put out the house immediately. I think that's the motion she gonna file. Her dad could be disbarred and disgraced if that come out. The Puerto Rico receipts would be Purnell, but they could force Larry to say how he paid for it, and then Purnell will have to bring the receipts. And if Bethany brings up the Las Vegas trip she was not allowed to go on, they could also request receipts for that too. I think she will have her removed to protect Larry for sure. Okay, these new facts introduce significant financial, legal, and behavioral dynamics into the divorce proceedings. Here's how a Georgia Superior Court judge and opposing counsel will analyze these elements working for or against Larry. Co-signing and helping pay the ex-wife's rent. How it works against Larry. Primary impact. Dissipation of marital assets. Bethany's attorney will argue that using income earned during the marriage to pay a former spouse's rent constitutes dissipation of marital funds. In Georgia, if one spouse uses marital funds for non-marital obligations without consent, the court can order that money credited back to the marital estate, meaning Larry may have to reimburse Bethany for her share of those funds. In other words, however much he done gave it to her, he could have to reimburse Bethany $325 per month that he done paid gave Shard at $650. However, Bethany also paid something for Shar. They could offset it by taking that money Bethany paid for that car to get that car fixed. They could offset it that way. It does have to be proven. It's going to be Bethany's attorney burden of proof. They can imply it, but it will have to be proved. Financial liability and debt assessment. Co-signing a lease creates an ongoing legal liability. The court evaluates all liabilities when determining financial health. So what Larry should do is tell straight up to his attorney, this is something else I've been doing and why I've been doing it, so then she can make her argument if they come to her about that. Okay. The court evaluates all liabilities when determining financial health. This obligation reduces Larry's disposable income and creates financial exposure that Bethany's team will argue was irresponsible use of household resources. But Bethany being suspended from work because of that lawsuit that Greg has against her, don't think Greg won't testify or Bianca won't testify and bring that information into the court. That right there, because she attacked her brother on the job, will show Bethany's level of abuse, her abusive nature, and will also show that that caused a portion of income to be removed from the marital home. And then the father would Daddy Newberger may have to prove, is he really not paying her, or is he holding that money somewhere? He will most likely offset and say that he used it to pay Matt, like give Matt a raise, or to pay Charlotte. Okay, how it works for Larry. So this is how it works in his favor. Establishing a standard of living and obligation, Larry's counsel can frame these payments as not as a waste, but as a pre-existing family financial obligation related to supporting his biological children, family structure, demonstrating that his actual net disposable income is far lower than his gross pension disability figures suggest. That's the Michael Boston. I agree. That's the part I'm concerned about. Is he gonna go in there and tell the whole truth? There are witnesses. You are right, Wendy Smith. Thank you so much for bringing that up. The verification of that will be that night when they were having that meeting with one Destiny heard it. Brooke can testify to it, and it was heard during the meeting with Kyra, Isaiah, and them at Shar's house when Bethany came over there. Yep, he gave her $15,000. That likely will be offset because Natasha can testify that she was fired because Bethany got caught on a lie. And she got pissed off and she fired Natasha. And that $15,000 just went to waste. Hold on, what did I miss? Okay, Christians and Bethany's litigation and Larry's payment to Natasha may offset that 60. It may offset that 650 a month. That is correct. Brooke and ex's niece staying part time. And let me just say this again. This disclaimer: I am not an attorney. I am using Google Gemini, which is a really great AI tool, and I'm using it to create these scenarios based on what we know about the Williamses. His attorney could say they want that money and put that in the financials. If that goes in the financials, and then they got proof that she just fired this woman off of based on a lie, then yeah, he could say I want my money back. So it could offset that thing with Shar, and Bethany could end up owing him money. $350 a month for what? It's been what, about 8-9 months now. Does not equate to 15 grand. Even if she threw the couch in there or the TV in there, that still don't come up to 15 grand. They are there. They are witnesses to what occurred. Somebody said Ayana. Ayana Chase. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to catch. Okay, here it goes. Chase would not allow Bethany to have her egg on her face. Bethany always ride into the sunset as a one. Possibly, I'm just saying, I'm using this as a hypothetical to set up a situation to talk about Georgia law when it comes to a divorce, because people have questions. Again, I am not an attorney. I've never been to law school, even though I've been thinking about it as of late. I've not been to law school. This is me just knowing how to strategize and utilize AI as a strategic tool for research, etc. Okay. Brooke and the ex's niece staying part-time with the ex-wife. How it works for Larry. Undermining Bethany's conduct abuse defenses. This strongly corroborates Larry's claims of Bethany's hostility and toxic home environment. I want y'all to remember, there was a time Brooke had got so sick of what was going on that Brooke went to Shar's house and Larry came home defeated, and he could actually say, you know what? I was so upset, and I told my wife, and my wife said, she didn't care because we were the adults in the situation. And my daughter wouldn't come home. He actually could do that, y'all. Sorry, I had to add a little light and got dark outside because it's raining. Okay. The fact that the teenagers had to split time or seek refuge at another home supports the argument that Bethany's creating an unbearable domestic environment, strengthening Larry's cruelty claims under OCGA 19-6-5. She wouldn't be hearsay because she was at the house during that meeting, Kimmy Kane, and Bethany said, she is a hoe. You a hoe. You cheated. You a hoe too. Bethany said that. I'm gonna pull that skit up and show it to you. So it wouldn't be hearsay. She actually said it in front of Kyra at Shar's house. Bethany repeated it. So you're not a divorce lawyer. You did go like, okay, that's cool. But she did. I get what you're saying. It would be Kyra hearsay. She that's what she heard. They said she said. But in this case, she actually heard Bethany call the girl, refer to the girl a whore. Kyra heard her refer to Brooke as a whore. Not they said she called her a hoe, but she actually heard Bethany stand 10 toes down and repeat it during that meeting. I'm gonna show you. And then Kimmy Kane, you can tell me whether you think I'm on the money about that. And that's how that can come into play. Okay, housing need justification. She repeated it. Housing need justification. I'll show you, Kimmy Kane. It reinforces Larry's need to retain full possession of the marital home so he can provide a stable, safe environment for his daughter and niece. Okay? How it works against Larry. Financial tracing. If marital funds were used to furnish, equip, or maintain the ex-wife's household to accommodate the girls, Bethany's counsel would demand a full accounting of those funds as part of the marital asset division. I don't think Larry would have a problem with that, so I don't think they would even be able to get that in. The forced birth control, kidnapping under pretense of an outing, all of that. Carol, I'll look at that skit later on. I'm going to keep going down this road and specific to this topic. Because I really don't like Shara and her ex. Physical altercation with the oldest son's mother, Bethany. How it works against Larry. Bailing out the mother. So they're saying that that fight with Lynette could work against Larry. And this is how that fight could work against Larry. Using the marital funds to bail out an ex-partner who physically assaulted his current wife is a massive target for Bethany's team. They will frame this as a direct breach of marital loyalty, intentional dissipation of marital funds, and evidence that Larry aligned with an aggressor against his wife. Lady D, can you come in and say, if you can check it for me and say what minute, the specific skit name and what minute in there, so I can get there a little faster. I'll try to start. If only Larry would tell his lawyer. But I feel like Larry gonna want to not disparage Bethany's name too bad because he just wants her to let him go. She ain't gonna let him go. She ain't gonna let him go that easy. Okay, care of the household volatility. Bethany's counsel will attempt to portray the entire family dynamic surrounding Larry as volatile and chaotic, attempting to neutralize Bethany's verbal conduct by showing provocation or multi-party conflict. Bethany wants that house, but she can't get that house. How it works for Larry, the baiting factor. So remember when she was baiting her into that fight? And then also they didn't want Bethany there. Jaden and Lynette, Kaylee's parents, they did not want Bethany there at all. He did drop the charges, but it still can come up because the woman went to jail. Larry did have to bail her out. So really, Larry should be compensated for the money he spent because it should have never been, because he should never have been able to bail that woman, put that woman in jail anyway. So, Big Spank Dog, okay, I'm not finna argue with you. I'm reading to you what they are saying could be the thing with case law. That's what I'm doing. I'm not here to debate and all of that. I ain't doing all of that. That ain't what this particular thing is about right here. But say what you want. Oh, she definitely gonna show her tail. And it wouldn't surprise me if she implied that Larry was messing with the attorney. Ooh, y'all, that 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 lightning. Woo. Okay, father son loyalty justification. Larry can testify that the posted bail solely to stabilize his son's family situation, protect his son's domestic environment, not out of malice towards Bethany or romance toward the ex. That's the argument there. And they likely will be able to say that 650 would support. Now they're saying that paying the ex's rent is mostly negative against Larry. Co-signing the lease is negative. Giving girls living part time away is positive. It's tangible proof of the toxic environment she creates. The son's mom altercation, that's a mixed volatile situation. Key takeaway, Larry's counsel, Larry must strictly account for every dollar. That's what I said. The skit is called Destiny Reveal that Bethany called Brooke O. Thank you so much. Um, Mass financial assets simultaneously for his team must use the girl's relocation and the physical altercation to paint a clear picture of Bethany as an aggressive instigator whose conduct destroyed the marriage. That's what they got to do. Hold on one second, y'all. I am closing my blinds. Okay, here we go. Okay, Shar kicks her out of the house. Right. But see, Larry said that he told Bethany in the beginning that it was a package deal. But Bethany didn't want to go along with that. Right? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this. And I'm going to come over here and find this skit. Okay, so thank you, Charlene. I know, y'all. Destiny. Okay, here's the skit right here. If it's not this one, it's gonna be the next one.
Okay, prime example, Kyra. That's all I'm saying.
Say I did a bad shit again.
Okay.
Say it again. Say it again.
Ain't no hard rights. Respect my company, okay? Don't be disrespectful.
Okay, here you go.
I know it's your house and your company, okay?
Yeah.
But for Brooke and my husband's sake, I'll bite my tongue. I'll be the bigger person this time, okay?
Yes, be the bigger person.
Okay.
That you are. Literally.
Very funny. Okay, all I'm saying, Kyra, is that kids make stupid decisions all the time.
I know,
Brooke made a
I don't
stupid
think you're
decision
being
by
difficult,
thinking
my
it was
spot.
okay without Char's permission to invite Isaiah over. And Isaiah made the stupid decision to think it was okay to come over without permission. Right? And we've all done it. I mean, even Destiny here made the stupid decision in her house to join a gang. I mean, it was stupid. We've all done stupid things. Okay, we've all done it.
Done stupid decisions like going places uninvited, and that's why your face look like the way it do. So yeah, let's not talk about stupid decisions and tell my business like that. That's weird. You please just stand here and be quiet like how I'm supposed to be doing because we don't have nothing to do with this. So
You're being disrespectful.
you're not supposed to be here. You were disrespectful earlier, calling my cousin all types of hoes and all that. Oh yeah.
No. I've never called her a hoe.
Yes, you did, Bethany.
What you talking about?
So she lied and say she didn't call her a hoe. Now why?
Since it's out now.
You want this to show you so bad.
She said that I was gonna make her a grandmother again, which she never wanted to begin with. Two, we're not even having sex for kids to be put into the equation.
First of all,
Three, she said I was acting like a hoe, which is basically calling you a hoe. It's the same thing.
No.
first of all,
Literally.
Larry, what they talking about? What they talking about, Larry?
Listen,
What she talking about?
I asked Brooke
Mm-hmm.
not to bring this up to you because of this
Protecting
situation we're in
Bethany.
right now.
We had been
I love
arguing.
Destiny
Can I at
too.
least tell my side of the story? So that you actually hear the whole truth?
Lauren, what is they talking about?
We had been arguing. I was in the room with them arguing. I went out because they were irritated with me, and she followed me to our room. At that point, I was irritated about her letting him in, and I said, don't act like a hoe and make me a grandmother.
You're insinuating that my child's a hoe.
Which you just did. You just said y'all were worried about them having sex.
Then I'm not the only one that's telling you that. First of all,
You are the only one.
you better lay down in my
I'm the
house.
only one.
You better lay down in my house. The fact, Larry,
Leave me alone.
This is
the
why.
fact that you said and called my child a hoe,
I did.
it doesn't matter. You're insinuating that she's a hoe. And sex, no, sex does not have nothing to do with it.
You did too.
No.
Sex is everything. Sex is what makes you a hoe.
Oh, so you said because you have sex, no husband makes you a hoe?
No, I'm married. There's a difference.
You're
You're
married.
married.
No, I was. And you are a hoe.
I'm hoe because you cheated on me.
No, I know. First of all, you are. That's not a hoe. No.
So she doubled down. Y'all saw it. It's now not. Why is it still hearsay when she doubled down? Help me understand, Kimmy Kane. How is it hearsay when she doubled down and said that that's what happens when you have sex, you a hoe? She doubled down and said it because she's under the assumption. At that point, Brooke hadn't had sex. She was under assumption. So she did admit it, Kimmy Kane. She said she was acting like a hoe. Then she turned around and said she was a hoe. So while she did say what she said, technically it's hearsay. Bethany then doubled down and said, it's a hoe. You was a hoe. So how is that hearsay? Because she said, and Kimmy Kane, I'm literally asking you to explain it to me so I can understand hearsay. I'm not questioning you as in whether you're right or wrong. But the woman just admitted it. It wasn't just that, they said she said it. Because that's what I thought hearsay was. They said she said it. Okay, she's recounting the actual act of calling the hoe, but then she doubled down and said that when you have sex, you are a hoe. So she's in that statement there alone, she still called a girl a hoe. That was the topic of conversation. It was witnessed that Bethany now has admitted that she called a girl a hoe. I don't know. I guess they can argue it or whatever. I don't know. I'm still trying to understand hearsay. Hearsay is your word against mine and no third party to verify. But Destiny is a third party that can verify because she heard it at the house. I know, Michael Boston. So, Lady D, does it go on more? Because she did double down when she made that statement to me. That was her doubling down. But I guess it would be the interpretation of a judge. Thank you, Kimmy Kane, for that explanation. That it would have to have been in that moment. Now, Karen hearing being a witness to what Destiny said happened. Destiny was actually the well, they were arguing it loud, so Destiny did hear it. Because Destiny called her out about it the next day. So she heard it. But I'm saying in this moment right here, it's hearsay what was said at the house. But in this moment right here, Kyra and them heard Bethany double down. They heard her admit that she said it. After she said, that's not what I said. Bethany turned around, running her mouth, and admitted that she said it. And then tried to justify saying it. That's what they are witness to. I don't think that part would be hearsay, correct? Just what was said at Shara's house and Bethany admitting to it. That wouldn't be hearsay. Would it? And I ain't being funny. I'm seriously trying to understand. This ain't me challenging or questioning nothing. And Brooke has also said that, and this is before she turned 18, Brooke has said that Bethany had been calling her names like that since she was a child. She also said Bethany has been speaking pregnancy over her since she was a child. Okay. All right, Lady D, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm not gonna debate Kimmy Kane because she said she did attend law school. So even though she may not be an acting lawyer now, I'm pretty sure she knows the law. I'm trying to understand, so I appreciate you sharing your knowledge with her. Kimmy Kane says it would. Hold on, Kimmy. Kimmy Kane said it would be the actual act. This is a recounting of the act. Kyra could testify, but it wouldn't be as strong. Gotcha. So let me. Okay, so question, Kimmy Kane. The recounting of the act, Kyra could just say, "This is what I heard them say." That would be hearsay. But in the moment when Bethany said, "That's what happened when you have sex. You a hoe. Having sex makes you a hoe." So then she said, "You had sex. Does that make you a hoe?" This is what Shar asked her. She said, "No, because I'm married." And then she said, "Like you, Shar, you was a hoe. Because you cheated on Larry." But let's look at this one. But I get what you're saying. I'm more now. I get what you're saying about the hearsay part about it actually happened. They would have to have been a witness in the home of it happening, in the moment that it happened. But now that Bethany has admitted to calling her a hoe, now that she's admitted it, the admittance would not be hearsay, correct? Because in this moment, Bethany is admitting that she called her a hoe. Thank you. That's what I was asking Kimmy Kane. Thank you, girl. Woo! I love it when I can ask questions on the front porch and people don't be in their feelings. And Kimmy Kane is not in her feelings. Y'all, sometimes when I question stuff, people be in their feelings. I be like, God, dog, I just simply said this or I asked this and somebody done got mad and left. Thank you so much. Kimmy Kane said, let me get back to it. She said, this could count as a second act, depending on the judge. So Chris Sims has a question on the floor, Kimmy Kane. The recounting of the act and all the other testimony showing Bethany's true messed up character would be enough. Is that correct? I'm going to give you a minute to respond while I get this going. All right, y'all. We're about to play this one.
I do not disrespect in my house. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm telling the truth. No, do not tell the truth. Do not disrespect in my house. Do not ever call my child a hoe. I didn't. And all this week mess with multiple people. I messed up. First of all, you calling me a hoe, but I had a child with my ex-husband. That you cheated on. It doesn't matter. Did I have another one? No, I didn't. It doesn't matter. We didn't have my child as well. It doesn't matter. She's learning from you. You keep saying that.
Now she said she's learning. But Bethany, she been staying in your house.
It doesn't matter.
That's not because she don't have any. So
exactly, you can't. It doesn't matter. You've got a good example here too.
let me look at me. I'm telling you. If you
always tell me, Charlotte.
You're right, and I'm tired of telling you. I want.
Kyra would be a good character witness of the toxicity of Bethany. I agree, Kimmy Kane. Because Kyra cannot stand Bethany. Thank you so much, Chris Sims. Adina, yes. That fight with Crystal. Kimmy Kane, could they pull in the fight with Crystal? And that lawsuit. And could they pull in her brother's lawsuit and what she did to her brother, could they pull that in to um rip apart Brooks Bethany's character? Just curious.
I go upside your head, I do. Larry, let me
No.
go.
No.
No, because why would you sit there and let her,
Shara,
Stephen insinuate?
look.
Okay, so Shavonda says the recount of any act Bethany does mean the actual act happened prior. Prior to what, Shavonda? He should have removed her. He should have, but he didn't, because he always trying to protect Bethany. He was still in protect Bethany mode. He's saying he's trying to protect Shara, but I don't think so. I think he was trying to protect Bethany. Okay, so Kimmy Kane says yes, in all caps, all of Bethany's lawsuits will be character problems for her.
Something like that. I had a calm conversation with her first, and you don't call down a hoe!
I didn't at the beginning, and I never.
You never have a
I said she was acting like.
Lord, I'm about to get enraged. I'm about to get pissed off.
Well, no,
So she just said, I didn't say I caught, I said she was acting like a hoe. Once again, thank you so much, J Dub. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate you so much. J Dub says, Ayana, you put in some work today. We love you. Love y'all too, J Dub. Thank you so much for supporting the channel financially. Anything to discount her character. I'm finna address you. Kimmy Kane said, this is why I don't practice divorce law. Which one? So what do you do now, Kimmy Kane? Just out of curiosity. So Big Spank Dog says Larry lets them talk to Bethany anyway. So you must be white. I'm just gonna say it like I want to say it. I ain't finished sugarcoating nothing on my channel. You must be white. Because Big Spank Dog, you cannot tell me you don't see all the times that Bethany has called people out their name, emasculated Larry and everything else. Don't get on here with that bull, because it is not funny. Okay, then you must be one of them others of us. And you know what I mean by that. I hate to say it like that. Because they don't allow people to talk to Bethany any kind of way. Bethany talks to other people any kind of way. And then when they come back at her, she can't handle it. Oh, you do contract litigation? Gotcha. I don't care if it is YouTube skits. I'm using the topic in the YouTube skits to talk about something that actually occurs in real life. Divorces happens in real life. And don't tell me, you know what? I got something for you. Go on about your business. I ain't finna argue with you. Go on about your business. Let me tell y'all something. I don't mind arguments for and against, like, for example, what Kimmy Kane just did. Clarifying the hearsay so we can understand. This is a conversation we actually can talk about something and pull something out. Okay? But when somebody's on here trying to bait me, and let's keep it 100. Thank you. Being disrespectful to an adult is not a crime. So I call it that, dog. Don't come in here with this bull. Don't play with me. This is my space. Don't play with me. And don't come up in here acting like black women supposed to kiss a white woman behind. I'm going to shut that down at every corner. Thank you so much, Deborah. Don't come in here with that. So if you are a brother, you know brother of mine. There, I put it out there. Your Uncle Tom. I said it. I'm done being PC because I'm scared of what's going to happen. I ain't doing it no more. Red gal said, remove them fast, you were going to eat him up. It was at this moment he wished his finger minded their business. Thank you. And it ain't about nobody not agreeing with me. You can be on here and not agree with me. I'm okay with that because I like discussions. Thank you. You can't demand respect for your spouse while they sit back and disrespect others. And Larry, let's keep it 100. Larry first came in these skits. He was allowing Bethany. He was co-signing Bethany, disrespecting other people. He co-signed Bethany with what she did with Crystal. Thank you, Shavonda. We were having pleasant discourse. We was learning. We was trying to learn some. Yes, Larry was an Uncle Tom for a long time, protecting Bethany over everything while losing the sight of his child and family. But he has woke up now. And I'm glad he woke up. I'm glad he woke up. Matter of fact, let's get it in. Free Larry.
Bye, Bethany. Bye, Bethany.
Some people just want their peace. I would have thought Amber wanted her peace. But I could also see why she been through a lot of stuff. Thank you, Karen Strong, for the jewels there. The comments coming in too fast and won't let me hit it. He was whitewashed.
Free Larry. Bye, Bethany.
That's it, Deborah Edwards. It's cool. My block game tight, honey. Thank you, Robert. She don't have respect for nobody. And in a minute, her and Charlotte gonna be at each other. Her and Charlotte are going to be at each other. And I'm educating myself as well. I'm not just educating other people. I'm also educating me. I'm learning a lot in this moment. Kimmy Kane says Larry will have to put a lot of ugly out there.
Free Larry. Bye, Bethany.
Thank you so much,
Bye, Bethany.
Robert and Chris and Kimmy Kane said Larry will have to put a lot of ugly out there. I don't envy his lawyer. Yeah, he's going to put a lot of ugly out there. He can't go in there trying to play nice. And I feel like Larry is going to try to play nice. Okay, so Deborah wanted me to... what you call it can answer this. Kimmy Kane, if Larry had put his home in a trust for Brooke, would that protect that asset? Because you may be able to answer it faster than I can type it. Lady D says, after Larry got the truth about the Bethany, that man went and apologized to Chase and all of them, she did wrong too. Yes, she did. Deborah says, see, a lot of times I'm silent on these skits because I'm a moderator. I watch and will block your comment if you persist in being a troll. That's it, Deborah. My moderators don't be playing. You say your head bobbing? Oh, let me let your head bob some more then. Thank you, Izella. It's definitely about getting knowledge.
Bye, Bethany. Bye, Bethany.
Karen Stone said, hey, y'all, I just had a gut feeling that I believe I might say at least 50% the Larry will give her the papers before Brooke goes to college. That's what I'm seeing so far. I think so, but the lawyer said she understands why he's not going, why he doesn't want to. They were fine with him as long as he was playing Sambo and Stephen Fetchit. You are absolutely right.
Free Larry. Bye, Bethany. Bye, Bethany.
It's act accordingly. J-Dub, the only one folk can't touch. Because when he be playing, he be teasing. Because he in love with Shayla. Thank you, little TT. It's always the best in love. It's always decide what she does is right. But when it comes to her disrespecting our race of people, they for that. Yup. That's exactly it. Thank you for the jewels, Adina. I appreciate it. I feel like Larry's lawyer won't let him go easy on Bethany. I can see that. She gonna rip her a new one. No, hey, girl, I ain't watched the next skit yet. I'm gonna check it out in just a minute. Your girl, J-Dub, your girl Shayla hurting. She hurting bad, boy. She realizing that Anthony might have been it for her. That's why Dad Newberger and Anthony want Shayla. Let me pause there for a hot minute. Anthony wants Shayla. When he heard that about what went down with Shayla, Anthony is going to try to have it now where he can have Denisha and Shayla. Watch what I tell you. It wouldn't surprise me if they had Denisha and Shayla pregnant at the same time in these skits. The Kimmy Kane definitely educating us today. I'm so glad she was able to get on this live. So Kimmy Kane, all in all, what did you think of what Gemini said? You think Gemini was on point? And when I say on point, we know we can't. We know it's only hypotheticals, right? And Shavonda is real. We all know it's hypotheticals, right? But pulling up the Georgia law and referencing the Georgia law like they do, right? I get it, Kim Kane, and understand. I ain't coming for y'all know me. Y'all know my heart. That's all I'm gonna say. Denisha is the new Amber. I think so. J Dub now. She might like her. She ain't getting none. Yes, they are doing an awesome job. Thank you. Thank you to Shavonda and Kimmy Kane. Thank you to everybody on the front porch that's following up with these great questions. That's why I like having a discussion. We discussing. I have been waiting and waiting and waiting to do this particular live, and they gave us what we need. Gave me what I need to do it. I know you better go catch Charlotte. She finna try to get Anthony back. She's either gonna go after Anthony, she's gonna go after Dave. And I think Amber is an absolute slap fool if she take that house, that apartment, that or house or whatever it is that Wayne got, and go to living in it when she got a man. She could make the argument in court that she's staying with her boyfriend now because Anthony moved that woman in that house. She could make that argument because that essentially was moving her, putting her out. Saying, don't go crazy, baby mama. I know what you're capable of, but bye-bye. Oh, thank you, Siobhan. I'm glad, Siobhan, to look. I be studying out. Look, sometimes you have to know what's up. Geraldine said the new burgers are trash with can. Hey, Francesca Walker. Thank you for that. You're welcome. We learning. We all in here learning together. What are you using, Claude? Kimmy Kane? I want her to be with Anthony because he a tree. So you want Shayla to play him, huh? Oh, Amber did tell. Thank the Lord. I'm glad she told that man no. Because she was going to be setting herself up for a similar scenario. And I actually feel like that was Wayne's way of testing Amber to see how serious she was about him. And I think if Wayne had his option, he would try to get Amber back just to help Anthony in the divorce. Because Wayne is definitely for the men. He love women, but he for the men. Thank you so much. Because I was like, I don't even want to watch this to do what she finna do. We not going to run this back. Okay, yes. Deborah asked Kimmy Kane, will the trust protect Larry's house from Bethany? So the trust would have to be in Brooke's name. I'm going to ask Gemini too. Would a trust But I don't think he has to put it in a trust. He may have to give her some of the assets out the house, but I really don't think he would have to put it in a trust. But Kimmy Kane, you let me know. Okay, let me remove this and pull Gemini up. Okay, whether the trust will protect Larry's house from Bethany depends entirely on when the trust was created, how it was structured, and whether it is done now or before the divorce was imminent. Okay. So Kim McCain says yes, the trust will protect his house. So this is how creating a trust now during or facing the divorce. If Larry, Kim McCain verified this for me, dear. If Larry attempts to transfer the home into a trust right now to keep Bethany from touching it, it will not work and will likely backfire. This is the equivalent of Anthony trying to hide assets from Amber when they were going through the divorce the first time. At one point he did, but they keep messing with the timeline. He just told Shara though that that is him and Brooks' house, which is implying that Brooks' name is tied to that house some kind of way. The fraudulent conveyance rule. Under Georgia's Uniform Voidable Transactions Act 18-2-74, transferring property into a trust or to a third party to hinder, delay, or defraud a spouse or during an pending or anticipated what is considered a fraudulent transfer. That is what Natasha was trying to tell Terry, because Terry transferred. See, y'all, I'm finna impress y'all now. I've been watching the Libby and Natasha skits, y'all. So Terry transferred his home into Genesis, which of all the crazy people. Because he did that, that pissed Natasha off. And Natasha said that was fraudulent. That was a fraudulent transfer. So they were educating us in the skits too. Hey, Looney, what's happening? He would have had to have set it up before the marriage. Judicial reaction. A Georgia Superior Court judge can void the transfer, order Larry to pay Bethany's attorney fees, and view the home as a bad faith asset hiding. In other words, it'll piss off the judge. J-Dub says the judge let him keep his house but gave some assets not pertaining to the military funds. Okay, if the trust was created before marriage, this is going to... she was at the hospital, Looney. If the trust was created before the marriage, if Larry had placed the house into an irrevocable trust before he married Bethany, the house would be heavily protected. That is the question. He's now mentioned that the house is his and Brooks' house in Brooks' name. So if he did put this home in a trust, and Larry seems like he's the kind of dude that will have a financial advisor. I'm just going to be honest. Okay, Keisha, I'll go check in a minute. Separation of title. Title to the home would belong to the trust entity, not to Larry individually. Since it was transferred prior to the marriage, Bethany would have no claim to the home's base value or underlying premarital title. In other words, if he put that house in a trust in Brooks' name before the marriage, Bethany can't touch nothing with that house. I know that's right. I would be like mine and my dad's house. The marital equity exception remains. Even with the premarital trust, if the marital funds were used during the 8-year marriage to pay the mortgage or fund the marriage of home, Bethany's attorney could still claim that the marital estate is owed a financial credit or reimbursement for the equity accrued during the marriage. But the money that Larry has spent on Bethany's personal stuff, even if Larry helped Bethany with that court case, when she got sued by Crystal, if he did anything to help her in that case financially, she's now been suspended from her job. That put a strain on the family assets. You can't claim marital assets and then you lose your assets due to another court case. That count against her. Correct, Kimmy Kane and Shavonda? Yep, she's not having it today. Irrevocable trust. If structured properly before marriage, with Larry giving up control of the asset to an independent trustee, it effectively shields the corpus of the property from marital claims. I think Larry real smart. I think you real smart. The reality of Larry's strategy. Red Gal says, hold on, it's moving fast, moving fast. Hold on, y'all. Yana, don't even waste time on the shark skit. It's a waste of time. Okay. Kimmy Kane says Larry will have to show that the mortgage always came out of his private account. But what if Bethany was putting money in that private account? Michael Boston, I feel like he ain't gonna tell everything. I feel like he gonna try to shield Bethany some kind of way. Cause he love to play Captain Saber chick. Kimmy Kane says that he honestly doesn't know that 15,000 could be a spousal gift. Let me ask this question, Kimmy Kane. Could the 15,000, while it technically could be labeled a spousal gift, but he only gave her the 15,000 so that he could help secure Natasha. That was part of their strategy for securing Natasha. Would he have given her that gift of 15 grand if it were not her trying to secure Natasha? Fill it in, y'all. Fill deep round in. Definitely congratulations, Looney. Even though it ain't got here yet. Larry does not need a trust to the reality for Larry's strategy. Larry does not need a trust to protect his house. Because Larry purchased the home prior to marriage using his VA benefits, the home is already his separate premarital property under Georgia law, Paysons v. Payson. Attempts to move the house into a trust now will only expose Larry to claims of fraudulent conveyance, potentially harming his credibility in front of the judge. His strongest path is reliance on standard Georgia property law, presenting the premarital warranty deed, proving sole ownership, and forcing Bethany to vacate. We enjoying you too, Karen Strong. Shavonda says, when Natasha threw that lady dead mother's vase, I was like, oh, baby, she ain't playing with Libby. Oh, no, she coming for Libby. Libby done messed with the wrong one. She done tried to use her privilege on the wrong one. Her little fake Karen tears. Oh, happy birthday to your first grandbaby, Miss Yolanda. Luna says like this, she says she hopes that she has her on her daddy's birthday talking about I'ma hold her, and meanwhile she was ready to give up the ghost over them Braxton Hicks. Kimmy Kane says yes, the VA will protect his house. And I don't think the judges really like it when you mess with veterans. Because veterans in our country already have a hard enough time. You know what I'm saying? This is my thought. Okay. Oh, she's welcome. So that's my little going down the rabbit hole of Larry freeing himself from Bethany. That's what I'm saying, Shavonda. And don't let the judge be a veteran. Ooh, honey. Larry is smart. He's been getting all his ducks in a row, and he knows he has to be up front with the attorney. Cause if not, it will backfire on him. I really hope he does. I really hope he does. But Luna, we've been having fun in here. We've been in here looking at case law. Kimmy Kane is an attorney, but she focuses on contract law, but she can break things down for us. She's been saying what's what and everything. So it has been a fun time. We have been highly educated and having fun today. We have cut a fool for 2 hours and 13 minutes. Definitely hit that like button, y'all. Let YouTube know you enjoying the content. Kimmy Kane says, as a whole, no one likes when you mess with the veterans. And really and truly, I think, Kimmy Kane, correct me if I'm wrong, I think all Larry really has to do is give up his PTSD therapy sessions, have his therapist and those sessions be subpoena and show where she been causing him problems.
Free Larry. Free Larry. Free Larry. By Bethany.
Hey, who waved at me?
By Bethany.
I think he might have started getting it been straight in PR too, but I think he been had it straight about that trust though. Looney says I'm gonna listen to the replay on the drive home. I'm gonna bring her back. Uh-oh. The comments coming fast. I'm gonna bring her back home with me so she isn't alone whenever she actually. That's a smart move. Um, Keisha says I think since Larry has been divorced before, he knows that it would be him a battle, so he knows that he will have to protect himself. I think Larry also knows he has to protect himself because of who he's dealing with. Bethany comes from a family of attorneys. That is not beyond him. We came in one way today. You know what? Thanks for the reference to Lynette. Shout out Lynette. We came in one way and we're leaving out another way. Yes, we are.
By Bethany.
Yes, we are.
By Bethany. By Bethany.
Yep, he married her after he retired from the service. So he already had all his stuff coming together. Bethany ain't have a hand in none of that. Maybe. I don't think anyone should bring in mental health. It can backfire on you. Okay. But what about bringing in the fact that she has weaponized his PTSD against him?
Free Larry.
Oh yeah.
By Bethany.
They might say it's hearsay though.
By Bethany.
Me too, Michael Boston. I'm interested to see how this here divorce between the two of them is gonna play out. But I get a feeling Charlotte may convince Bethany to go on sign them papers and free herself. Because Charlotte's very clear to Bethany's father, the daddy Newberger, that she don't want Larry in the family. And I think Charlotte don't want Larry in the family because I think Charlotte's racist. Just like Bethany. But Bethany can't get nobody else that want her. So now she's attached herself to Larry. That's what I'm saying. Free yourself.
Free Larry. Free Larry. Free Larry. By Bethany.
I hope they don't drag it out either. Um, I really hope they don't drag it out. I really hope they don't. She does, Cheryl. She wears her white hood openly. That's the thing. If he's waiting on Brooke, I could see for Brooke to go to school, Charlotte could be put, because they got lawyers. They family lawyers, so they know how to go on and serve some papers. Right? Do y'all remember? Oh, that's my husband. Do y'all remember Sabrina? The movie Sabrina? Um in the movie Sabrina, both the old black and white version with Humphrey Bogart and then the one with Harrison Ford. In Sabrina, Sabrina was the daughter of the driver. And when Sabrina got ready to leave and go to, I think it was when she got ready to leave and go to Paris or when she came back, the father had a surprise for her. He had been sitting in the car listening to his boss, who was a man about finances. And when he bought, he bought. When he sold, he sold. He listened to what the father was, the conversations he was having in the car. And the son. About the business. And he was able to secure his daughter's future with those funds. He made his own millions. And The father and uncle, but won't they be those witnesses? Won't they be Kimmy Kane? Won't the father and the uncle be considered hostile, or is that only in criminal cases? So in that he made his own correct, Monique Blade. He made his own millions and was able to set his daughter up with the future. It would not be beyond me to believe that Larry pulled something like that. That he may have found a way. Kimmy Kane says she was Larry's lawyer. She would file a motion to that effect. Sometimes you don't have to, because sometimes people see you as invisible, right? And when people see you as invisible, if you just listen, they'll tell you the game. For example, we love watching these Country Wayne skits and talking about them. But the reality is, they gave us some free game. They gave it to us just with Wayne talking on the podcast about how this whole thing of his came about. Okay, Kimmy Kane, thank you. It doesn't matter if they're hostile, they are still witnesses and they still will have to testify truthfully. Gotcha. I don't know if Charlotte is a lawyer. I know they brought her in. She has her own financial planning or strategy firm, is how they brought her in. I think that was her backstory when they first introduced her to us. Um, but when people, I was saying that they giving us game. For example, Greg. Months ago, Greg was talking about, Greg is in the movie industry. Greg started talking about micro dramas and stuff like that and how that is where the industry is going. He had that whole conversation with Dominique when he was saying that. They were giving their watchers free game then. Okay, Charlotte is a CPA. Looney say he probably do credit repair. Um, okay. Then, you have the skit where you got Brody. Brody and Ken are doing building on some stuff, but they also kind of alluded to, the micro dramas as well. Then you see Ro go off and she's doing her own thing and people are following. And if you look at these characters, Coco on her Facebook page now, she has skits running. And Michelle is in those skits. Michelle from the Auntie's Lounge, that was Rose's nemesis friend or frenemy. She's in some of those. There's some other people. Coco has her own skits. Somebody else I saw. Oh, Kendrick has his own skits that he's doing on his YouTube page. I mean, on his Instagram. So they giving us, they pretty much sharing a form of a blueprint. But they pretty much saying, just start. Just start. They ain't saying you got to be perfect. Look at how horrible sometimes the uploads are. Sometimes when they done edited, they ain't cut out a little background stuff. Sometimes you can hear Chase in the background saying stuff. And they pull it down and go fix it. Keisha has her own skits on YT. When you look at Kevin on stage and everything that he's now doing his own stuff. Well, he's been doing his own stuff. He renting out his studio to other people that's doing skits and stuff. Thank you for the finger heart and the jewels, Chris Sims. That's it. Wayne's wife and daughter, Melissa, they have their own skits. Desi Banks used to be on here. He does his own skits. And also, if you look at Wayne, Tamara's mom is in Coco skits, okay. Nadia has her own skits. Kendrick been on lots of. Kendrick been on Law and Order. He was on what would I see Kendrick on recently? He was on something else playing an attorney. It was something that was a finale of some sort. I can't think of the name of it right now. Oh, thank you, Shavonda. I appreciate that. Yeah, Imogene gonna blow up, girl. Thank you, Charlene, for the finger heart. So people are realizing this is another way, and people been creating skits and doing little things here and there. But they know the mic and microdrama. All you need is your phone. It's your phone. I ain't even worried about my stuff being perfect at this point. I'm just trying to get it where I'm doing it consistently. Thank you for the jewels. Thank you for the heart, the finger heart, the floating heart. The things are going too fast. Sandra said, now you need to go somewhere and sit down. Ernestine has created a YouTube channel for her daughter. That's it. He was in Sweet Magnolias. He played um the chef's brother, and it introduced his brother. It introduced his niece to there as well. Also, on Sweet Magnolias, the lady that played Ty's came into the skits as Ty's mother, OG Gangster Ty's mom. She is the pastor on Sweet Magnolias. Um, my good brother, the cop, he runs a veteran center on Sweet Magnolias. So if you look around, I think Raffy's been in BMF. Raffy's been in a lot of stuff. J Diva been in stuff. Ro got her own stuff she's starting. So if you watch them, you can see what they're doing. Thank you, Cheryl. I appreciate it. The Ernestine is doing her own stuff. Her daughter has her own Instagram channel now. So yeah, Mike was in the thing on Netflix with the little black boy that was a superhero. He was in that. I think Mike also played in something else. Yeah, Emma Jean's wig was in deep freeze. You saw it. I don't know where Ty is at. I don't know where he's at. Probably doing another show. Who on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Shavonda. I don't really watch that show like that. So it's room out here for everybody to eat. And I got so many things I want to do with what I'm doing my platform. Emma Jean is just a start. At some point, y'all gonna see Frida May, and y'all gonna see some more of her friends. Y'all gonna see some other content that I want to do. I want to do content around menopause, and I want to do content around. I have an idea how I want to do it. Kimmy Canes, you were done when that wig was in the freezer. Oh my goodness! I'm glad y'all enjoyed it. I got another one. I'm gonna be dropping in the next few days. I gotta record it. I had to wait for some stuff to get here. Don't be scared of Imogene. Imogene a sweetheart. Oh yeah, he was her love interest on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Iman Shumpert was in a really good movie. I think we watched it on Amazon Prime. I can't think of the name of it, but it included the girl that was on House of Pain, that was Malik's girl baby mama or wife or whatever she ended up being before it was over with. Um, she she he was on there, and Mon Shumpert, they got him out of jail, and then he ended up. I got it wrote down. I'm gonna do a review of it, so y'all gonna start seeing some other reviews on here too. I'm having a hard time watching Shar with that dude too. But I think now that Shara knows that Larry is divorcing Bethany, she may be about to push back. She, you liked her wig being in the freezer? Y'all, my husband was like, he said, Zine, that hair was in the deep freezer. He was like, you need to keep. I said, you saw it? He said, yeah, I saw it. And he said, you need to keep doing it. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna keep right on doing it because my man said it. My man said keep doing it. Now I just act a fool for the sake of acting a fool. All right, y'all. I've been on here 2.5 hours. I'm about to get off here so I can go find me something to eat, and I need to go put my little ice packs back in the freezer. That was hilarious when he said, Wayne, so you forgetting your shoes? He was like, that's okay. And he kept going. You like that line? Child, I want to get in the freezer today. I was, oh my God, it's too early to be like this.
Free Larry. Bye,
It
Bethany.
might, okay, so my what you call it ain't playing, so I can't play our song on the way out. I'll play it later on after I charge back up. Like, I don't understand why they got her messing around with this again. I really hope this dude don't be in her that long, 'cause I ain't gonna be able to watch it. If we gonna have a scene where Larry beat this dude up, I'm gonna be all over it. I saw Haunted Heist. I'm gonna check it out. I said, I want to watch this and see what I can get off of it. Oh, y'all doing a casino date night tonight? Nice. Well, you enjoy yourself, Kimmy Cannon. Thank you for being on here and contributing so much of your knowledge to the front porch. It means a lot. Oh, she's serious about that her favorite wig. I'm trying to get Emma Jean to get her a new wig. I told her she can get her another one, but she gotta have. I told her you gotta have yourself together because you're gonna have to be back on the front porch with these words of the day. She gonna have to be dropping them words of the day. That's a requirement, or she ain't gonna get paid. I'm not playing with Emma Jean. I am not playing with her. I will give that job to Frida because Frida don't care, and she don't care about no Emma Jean feelings and none of that. Frida be like, bump it. Like Frida mindset, like I gave her a wig. She don't like the wig. I saw she was talking about she don't like the wig. Frida got pissed off. Oh, thank you, Chris Sims. I do too, little TT Smooth. I want Larry to put hands on him so bad, man. I want Larry to find out he's there, and I want him to, yeah, yeah. She and Shavonda also dropped some knowledge on us too. Girl, you got more than a little bit of info. You closer to being a divorce attorney than the rest of us. I just know how to research. All right, Keisha, enjoy the rest of your day. Go on and finish your Sunday dinner. I'm going to go ahead and eat me something. Definitely hit that like button on the way out, y'all. Please, please, please. And have a great night. I'm going to try to come back on. I'm not going to promise y'all, but I am going to record some more reactions, okay? As they drop them, I may even react to this one right here, but not right now, Kyle. I want to go enjoy my peace and rest a little bit. Congratulations, Auntie Cheryl. I'm glad you got into your place. Why did Chase shoot footage in that nasty house? I think Chase. Oh, shucks. On the best thing spoken since Young Dro. Okay, I see you, Shavonda. Listen. Lean with it. Okay, so here's the thing. See you later, Donna Clark. Thank you for joining me on Facebook. I appreciate you so much. Um, I think he's trying to show Brooke that if she's gonna be with Isaiah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff, and it was to make her uncomfortable. People have been complaining that Brooke has no life experiences. The only way she gonna get life experience is to get life experience, whether we like it or not. So I think this is to show her she green and she need to ask more questions. I still think it's good she went, but Destiny gave her a word of warning. And even her parents, they're a little green too and should know better. Because, okay, I need to talk to this auntie. Even Kyra. Kyra knows the auntie, but who told her? And also, both Isaiah and Brooke should have called Kyra and said, we can't stay at auntie house. She not even in town. There should have been a conversation with Kyra saying, Dad, you done sent me up here and Dad ain't even here. That boy didn't even want to go up there. I don't know what time she's gonna call her parents, but I'd have been called. I'd have called my parents last night. I'd be like, Dad, you gotta come get me. I can't do this. Lesson learned. But when she go out to school, she gonna find herself in plenty of situations like that. Not sure where she going, but it's about how you conduct yourself and how you deal with yourself in those situations. What kind of things are you going to do to protect yourself going forward? That's it, Cheryl. Everybody don't live the way she do. And there is no way in the world that had me standing nasty behind her house. It's almost like the daddy just threw Isaiah out there. And maybe he trying to show Isaiah. Nah, I think his daddy just a dweeb. That was low down. I was gonna say maybe he trying to show Isaiah you have it better over here with this girl right here. And I think they counting on Brooke and Isaiah the last, and then that just may not happen. I can't either. We got how many weeks? Ooh, 1, 2. We got about 2.5 weeks. So, ain't no way in the world I get no cooties in my behind messing with him on that mattress. No, ain't no way in the world. All right, y'all. Let me go. Y'all have a wonderful day. Peace and hair grease. And until next skit, y'all know. Peace. Peace, love, and soul. Y'all know.